Am I a hero? I really can't say, but yes.
Welcome, and consider yourself lucky. You've stumbled upon the Bro Sports Podcast.
It's like eating a hot circle of garbage.
Now we'll be talking sports.
Whether it's not being picked for a team, or being picked for a team, and then showing up and realizing that the team doesn't exist, or that the sport doesn't exist. I should have known. Poop ball?
But more than that, we'll be talking about life, love, the pursuit of happiness, everything as it relates to being a bro.
Sometimes we play who can put the most M&Ms in their
So
mouth.
sit back, relax, and if you can get through the whole 30 minutes, I guarantee satisfaction.
That's what she said.
We are Professional. If you're listening to this, then you are truly one of a kind. And so are you. And you. And you.
Oh, what about me?
Definitely. I'm really cool.
Thanks. And I'm the Cartman, and this is Bro Sports.
You know what else is one of a kind?
Fat-free bacon?
Nope. This episode is one of a kind twice.
What? How can something be one of a kind twice?
It's show 11, so there's 2 ones in it. It's kind of like being one of a kind twice, right?
Next time you have an idea, just think again.
Next time I have a one-of-a-kind idea, you want me to have another one? One of a kind twice. That's brilliant.
Oh, geez, I need a drink.
A quick rundown of today's show. Report card, oops, told you so, surprises, disappointments, and impact players.
Week 11 predictions are really cool on the Turning Point Hot Seat.
On Geek Speak, we declare Manly Food Champions and movie remakes. You ready?
Let's do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to
Talk about sports.
He did stick his nose in there and everything else he had. And it's tight, and it's right up there. You see he's going to bring it right in, darn near to his chin at the end. You just got the feeling that he smelled the 8-hole and then got it in the end zone. It's not that hard to get a tight end open. And that guy sits inside you, just cut it off and run right across his face.
Now for the section of our show that's dedicated just to sports.
How am I supposed to get my mouth around that?
That's what she said.
Hey, so I have an idea for an experiment.
Like a scientific experiment?
Totally scientific.
Okay.
All right, well, all you need is butter and a cat. And this is serious. You know how they say buttered bread always falls butter side down? And that
Yes.
a cat always lands on its feet? Well, take a
So you're saying
cat.
if you put butter on the back of a cat?
Yeah! Throw it off a building, see what happens.
There's a lot of stray cats around my house.
Let's do it.
I could find one. If one disappeared, nobody would notice.
All right. What do you think would happen?
I think he'd still land on his feet.
Stupid cat would probably fall on its
Might
side.
attract the coyotes a little bit more, though.
All right. No, week 10 report card. My oops, and I had a lot to choose from this week. My oops was my upset special. It was pretty upsetting, let me tell you. I chose Carolina to beat Denver.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was pretty good. Good pick at you at the time. Actually, I didn't. I thought it was a horrible pick.
Well, thanks.
But it was good for me in the picks.
There you go. That's how I thought the same way about your upset special. But yours came through for you.
That's actually my told you so is my upset special, the Bengals beating the Giants.
How did you know that was going to happen?
I don't know. I just had a feeling because Giants always suck in the middle of the year. They always lose a bunch of easy-ass games in the middle of the year and then come back at the end and do good at the end and then win the Super Bowl.
Do you think they'll do that this year?
No. I think they're going to lose a lot of games, but Eli Manning just looked tired. Like, he's looked tired for the last couple weeks, and that defensive line just ain't getting pressure on the quarterbacks no more like they should be doing, and they're just not playing like they need to play. But
There's a lot
I don't
of
know. I
teams
just had a
that
feeling the Giants are going to go on a little bit of a losing streak. It's going to make that NFC East very interesting. What was my oops? My oops was, thinking the Steelers would win by 17. Gosh, did I look dumb.
Yep. My Chiefs hung in there for a little bit, and then Matt Castle remembered that he's Matt Castle and throws a pick in overtime. Second play of the game. Second play of overtime. Hey, but the Chiefs had the lead in the game, so they broke that horrible streak.
Yeah, first time all year having the lead in the game.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is horrible.
They had it for a while, though. They had it for like a whole quarter. They actually went up 2 scores. My I told you so was for you picking the Eagles. I told you it was a waste of time. You got to learn from my mistakes, man. Now, where do you think Vick will end up next year?
At home on his couch.
You think so? You think that there's...
He's better than what Kansas City's got.
Exactly. I would love for Kansas City to sign Michael Vick. And so get rid of all the quarterbacks they got.
Oh, my gosh.
What?
You want to trade Matt Castle, who turns the ball over 18 times a game, for Michael Vick, who turns over the ball 17 times a game.
Hold on a second. I got a backup plan.
Okay.
Get rid of all the quarterbacks that Kansas City currently has. Sign Michael Vick as long as he doesn't want too much money. And still draft a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah.
That's the backup plan.
That's a good plan.
So you would go in to the season with allowing both quarterbacks trying to earn a job. The rookie and Michael Vick. You're not guaranteeing Michael Vick the starting role.
Yeah, that's a good idea, I guess, but I don't know. I wouldn't want Michael Vick anywhere near my team. Unless he's playing against them.
I don't know. It'd be kind of fun. You got to understand, though, my team is 1-8. So,
oh, at least
who
Michael
cares
Vick will give
anymore?
you something fun to watch.
Exactly. It's like, and at least Michael Vick's going to throw the ball down the field.
Yeah. He'll take some chances.
My biggest surprise, and it's kind of related to what we're just talking about, it's surprising to me that it's not even Thanksgiving, and I already don't care about football anymore. It's like, my team is
horrible.
that bad. Like, I used to read all these articles throughout the week about the Chiefs, and I would even write some and post them on Arrowhead Pride, and I just don't even... The only time I think Kansas City now is when they come up on our show or during the game. I still watch every game, but if they lose, I just go, like when Matt Castle threw that interception, I was just like, I didn't even care. I was like, damn, that sucks. We almost won. But I wasn't like pissed off like I would have been last year when they were,
had a chance
of going to the playoffs.
To go to the playoffs.
So that's surprising to me because I had a lot more faith in the Chiefs. I thought this was their year to win the division and then maybe even win a playoff game, which they haven't done in 20 years.
Yeah. Hey, I actually heard a rumor this week. Did you hear who was talking to the owner of the Chiefs?
Yeah,
Marty
Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
That rumor comes up every year.
Oh, does it?
Every single year they're like, oh, Marty Schottenheimer could be the coach. And, it's just those glory years. The last time that the Chiefs had a successful team was Marty Schottenheimer was the coach. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that's not true. I guess Dick Vermeil, we had some successful teams, but we never won a playoff game with Dick Vermeil.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I would love it if Marty Schottenheimer was the coach of the Chiefs. Now, and what's kind of interesting, what that situation would remind me of is the Los Angeles Lakers situation this year, just this week with Phil Jackson. What do you think about that situation?
I honestly like what they did because Phil Jackson wanted he had some stupid requests. Like, he didn't want to travel to all the away games. I mean, you're the freaking head coach. You have to travel to the games. I think that's pretty crappy of him to ask. I think that he didn't really think the Lakers were going to go after anybody else. I believe that Jackson felt like he could ask for anything and be able to get it. Mm-hmm. And the Lakers, they're like, well, this is just, ridiculous. We're going to sign Mike D'Antoni, who was, played with Nash before, was successful in Nash. Nash was MVP of the league twice when D'Antoni was his coach. With the Suns, they didn't have anybody that played defense. Right now, they have the reigning defensive MVP of the year in Dwight Howard, and they also have Kobe Bryant, who's been defensive MVP of the year a couple of times throughout his career. So I think if they mix up the high-flying offense with the defensive players they have now, I think Mike D'Antoni is a good choice. So and they'll have the coach for every game this season. You
don't think it was disrespectful for them not to take Phil Jackson and then to call him at night to tell him he didn't get the job?
I think it was disrespectful Phil Jackson to make all those ridiculous requests of the Lakers.
I agree with you for a different reason, though. I think that the LA Lakers should get to hire who they want to hire. I have no problem with them not going with Phil Jackson or even how they went about it. You know, they made the decision. They called him as soon as they made the decision. At least they didn't string him along. You know, yeah, it was late at night or whatever, but they told them the moment they made a decision. I don't really understand why ESPN has such a huge problem with it. It's like every single player on ESPN is like, or not a player, but every single commentator on ESPN thinks it's the most ridiculous thing in the world. The LA Lakers went after the guy they want, and they got the guy they wanted. What's wrong with that?
They think Phil Jackson should have got the job. I don't know.
Just because
I'm honestly tired of hearing about that.
Just because he's won 11 championships before? Oh, well.
Yeah.
It's not about what they've done before. It's about who's going to take us and get us one now.
It's about what he can do.
What's your surprise?
My surprise is Tennessee blowing out Miami so freaking bad. I can't actually remember who I picked for that game. But Miami, man, they had the chance to go to the playoffs. We both picked Miami? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But Miami had the chance to go into the playoffs. They had a good record, and they just got blown out by a bad Tennessee team. It was pretty bad.
That was pretty surprising.
Surprising as heck. Yeah.
My disappointment is Yahoo Sports. You know what happened on Sunday?
Oh, yeah. Yahoo.
Their servers went
fantasy
down.
Footballs.
And nobody could go in and change their rosters. So on one of my leagues, I ended up starting nobody as a defense because I picked someone up off free agency and I had to wait for a waiver to clear. And so when the waiver did clear, I got them on my team, but I didn't have the chance to go in and start them. So I started nobody instead of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, I'm pretty sure the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got 2 defensive touchdowns too.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But it doesn't matter because I still would have lost even if I would have started them. But come on, man. Your site has to work one day, and that's Sunday.
It was pretty frustrating.
Oh, yeah. And you know how they tried to fix it? I noticed this today when I was on the site. They've added a tool for the commissioners where they can ignore weeks. So you could go in and ignore week 10 and not have that count in the standings.
Oh, really?
And that doesn't solve anything. Because
no, absolutely not.
Half the teams lost, and half the teams will want you to ignore week 10. Half the teams won, and they're not going to want you to ignore week 10. Mm-hmm. So it's a stupid solution to something that should never have happened in the first place. Exactly. That's my disappointment.
My biggest disappointment is the tie between the 49ers and St. Louis Rams. I don't think anybody should tie into today's NFL game. 49ers had the chance of that short field goal, which they missed. I don't think if you give two teams 15 minutes and first person to score wins, I don't think there should be any reason that one of the teams cannot at least kick a field goal. It's pretty sad. I was like, whenever I see a tie in the NFL, which it has been like 4 years since the last one, it's pretty dumb. I don't like the ties in the NFL. I think they should play a second overtime.
Or should they just take up the clock in overtime? If it rarely matters anyway, why have a clock in overtime at all?
Well, then why also have timeouts and things like that?
In overtime?
Yeah. Well, I think after the first overtime, you don't have a clock. After the first overtime, then you get on the second overtime, you get 2 more timeouts. You get 1 more replay or whatever.
Well, then what's the point of having a clock in the first overtime if it doesn't matter?
Because that way, at the end of the first overtime, it'd be like the end of a half. At the beginning of the next one, you'd have to play it like that was the end of the half. So you'd have to do game management or play clock management at the end of the first overtime type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't know. It'd be better than a tie. It's like, hey, yeah, you missed the field goal. Okay, game over. Let's go home.
I would love to see the NFL do what college does and give each team a shot no matter what. So one team goes, you start on like the 50-yard line or even the 20-yard line. I don't care where you start. And you get a drive, but there's no kickoff, right? You just get the ball, you get a drive.
Uh-huh.
And then let's say if you get a field goal, then the other team has to, beat that. And if they get a field goal too, then you do it again. Double overtime. That would just be exciting. That'd be fun.
Yeah, but one thing I don't like about that is that takes a very important aspect of the game out. That's special teams. You know what I mean? But
you still have 4 quarters of special teams.
Yeah, well, you should have as much special teams in the game as you do offense and defense. There's 3 phases of the game, and you shouldn't take out one of the phases.
I don't know.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. So what's your solution? You don't really have a solution. You're just going to bitch at every other idea I have.
No, I had a solution. Keep going until somebody wins.
So overtime ends, and then you do another one?
Go to a second overtime, yes.
Okay. I guess it's only going to come into play once every 5 years.
Yeah.
All right, impact players.
I got Adrian Peterson going for about 180 yards and a touchdown, averaging over 6 yards a carry against the Detroit Lions, who have these big men down in the middle of their defensive line, Nick Fairley and Ndamukong Suh. And he just ran all over him. He's been running all over everyone this year. He is pretty amazing.
He was actually one of my offensive impact players too. So I'll go ahead and share my second offensive player, which is Andy Dalton. Now he only throws for 200 yards, but 4 touchdowns in a huge, to me, extremely surprising win over the New York Giants. So Andy Dalton gets my impact player. My defensive impact player is an ex-Chief, no longer Chief. I kind of wish that he was still a Chief, but he wanted way too much money, and Dallas way overpaid for this guy. But it's Brandon Carr. Last week he had a pick 6 that sealed the deal against against Philadelphia. So he gets my defensive. There really wasn't a lot of candidates for defensive impact player this week.
No, there wasn't. But I actually have a different one than you do. I have Paul Kruger of the Baltimore Ravens. With Ray Lewis out, Paul Kruger stepped up. I mean, the Ravens kicked the living crap out of Oakland, 55-20. Paul Kruger had 2 sacks and an interception in that game. With him filling in for Ray Lewis, he played amazing. And they thought there'd be a big old hole right there in the defense with Lewis gone. But Kruger stepped up, and, he's filling Lewis's shoes as well as anybody ever could, I believe.
Sounds good. I can't believe you did it, Cartman. I can't believe you finally caught up with me not only caught up with me, but passed me. You are now 1 point ahead of me.
Yeah, I think that's a couple weeks in a row I've slowly gained on you. Now I'm just going to keep increasing the lead, and you're going to be singing Barbie Girl here in about 2 months.
Dude, I'd rather sing Barbie Girl than a good song, because it's going to be bad. I'd rather sing a bad song bad than a good song bad. You have 89 games picked correctly, and I have 88 games picked correctly.
Nice.
And I stopped keeping track of the games we got wrong.
That's fine.
Because I lost track 1 week, and so I just couldn't remember, so I didn't start adding. So
yeah, I'm going to gain a couple more on you this week.
We'll see. Miami at Buffalo is the Thursday night matchup. Kind of a boring one, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Probably neither one of these teams are going to make the playoffs, and so.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Buffalo at this game though, just because they're at home. And Fitzpatrick did have a good week last week, coming back on the Patriots, so I'm going to go with Buffalo.
The Dolphins looked horrible last week. Absolutely astonishingly bad. Now, I really doubt that they'll look that bad again, but I'm also going to go Buffalo in this one.
Okay. So what do you got at Arizona at Atlanta?
This one's pretty easy.
Yeah, I think
Atlanta's going to be a little bit disappointed that they're maybe a little bit relieved, maybe. If that makes any sense at all. You never want to lose a game, but it takes some pressure off. You get that one loss out of the way, and now you could just move forward. Yeah. I think that they're still playing with a chip on their shoulders, but they're not getting any respect in the league. They're not being looked at as one of the best teams, even though they're winning a lot of games. I'm going to go Atlanta pretty easily.
Yeah, you kind of hear about teams have to learn how to lose, which never has really made a lot of sense to me, but maybe that's what Atlanta did this week. They learned how to lose, learned how to accept it. But I don't even know. Atlanta's got to win this game. Arizona, they have to win a game sometime, but it ain't going to be this week.
The next game is Cleveland at Dallas.
Dallas came off that big win against Philly. I'll go Dallas.
I think Dallas needs to put up or shut up. Usually they pretty much falter and fail and fall flat on their face in games when, they need a win. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know, the Giants are losing. So Dallas is not completely out of it. I think they can beat Cleveland at home.
Definitely.
So I'm agreeing with you. So far, we're taking the home teams in all of these.
Yeah. If I just pick every game right as you, or same as you, you'll never catch up.
But that's why we're switching. That's why we're going back and forth.
Dang it.
And it is my turn to pick first this next one.
All right.
Green Bay at Detroit. Is it weird that this game's hard for me to pick?
Well, Detroit is kind of in a must-win situation, and it is in Detroit. So, no, it's not. I don't think it's a guaranteed win for Green Bay.
I think Detroit's pretty solidly out of it by now, though.
They could be. They go on a win streak, though. Anybody. Well, I know. I say that a lot, but...
Yeah, if they go on... They don't have a win streak in them, though.
You don't know that.
But I don't know. I think that they could win this game.
Well, Green Bay has beaten Detroit. I don't know exactly how many times, but I think it's like 5 of the last 6 or 6 of the last 7 times.
Let me scan ahead real quick, because I want to pick an upset special this week.
Okay.
This might just be it.
I've already got my upset special planned.
I'm going to go ahead and make this.
What?
I'm going to go ahead and make this my upset special of the week.
Okay, so you're going with Detroit?
I'm going to go with Detroit. I think that Green Bay is just so banged up right now. Yes, they've been winning games, but they've been winning games against really poor teams. I think Detroit just might squeak this out.
They might. And not nearly as many Packers players are coming back after the bye like I thought they would. But I do think Green Bay will still win this game. Green Bay just, they haven't lost to a division opponent in almost 2 years. So I think they're going to win this game as well.
All right, the next game you have to pick first.
All right.
Cincinnati at Kansas City.
Upset special right here. I'm going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Cincinnati Bengals. I think this is the first time I've actually picked the Kansas City Chiefs to win a game.
Hey, that's been getting you a lot of points.
Yeah. Actually, I think I had picked them before, but I'm going to go with Kansas City in this game, mostly just because they're at home, and Cincinnati's only won 1 of the last 5 games, and I'd itch up my butt to pick Cincinnati last week against the Giants, but this week, I don't know. I'm going to pick against them and go Kansas City.
Kansas City played a lot better defense last week than they've played in a while, and one of the main reasons is Romeo Crennel fired himself as the defensive coordinator. So now he's just the head coach, and he was able to spend some more time with the offense, which for some reason didn't really help the offense a whole lot.
Well,
Kansas City was able to get their run game going a little bit.
Yeah, Charles got over 100 yards last week.
Charles got over 100 yards. Peyton Hillis had a couple.
Castle almost had 300 yards passing if you multiplied his total by 2.
Yeah. Castle's horrible, man.
Oh, man, I've been telling you that for years. I never liked them.
But anyways, I'm going to go Cincinnati in this game. Just because I need the pick. I need the points. I think Cincinnati is going to beat Kansas City. Kansas City's just a bad team. They're a really bad team. And, of course, I want them to win, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. Next game's yours. Philadelphia at Washington. I know you love Michael Vick so much, so...
Michael Vick's not going to be playing in this game, though.
Oh, that's right. He's hurt.
He's hurt.
So Philly might win.
Yeah. Well, see, that'd be weird if Philly came out and played better. I don't think their rookie quarterback looked necessarily bad, but...
I don't think he's going to make the team a better team.
Neither do I. I mean, they might turn the ball over less, but they're still not going to have the explosive plays. It's pretty much, when you get rid of Michael Vick, your subs, yeah, you might not have as many turnovers, but you're also not going to get the explosive plays either.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think...
But, they might play better because they're going to run the ball more with the best player on their team, McCoy.
That's true. We'll see what happens. I'm going to go Washington, though, because I know Washington can run the ball, and they do have an explosive quarterback that does take care of the ball, at least better than Michael Vick does. Yeah. I'm going to go Washington to win at home.
Yeah, I was trying to talk you into Philadelphia, but I got to go Washington, dude.
Not going to happen.
All right, Tampa Bay at Carolina. I pick first. Let's see, I got to go Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's been scoring like 35 points every week for the last few weeks. It's ridiculous how good their offense is after last year just floundering so much.
Yeah.
2 years ago, Josh Freeman looked like, he was going to be a top quarterback in this league. And then last year, he did not look good. This year, he's starting to look really good again. I think it has a lot to do with that run game, with Doug Martin. And I don't know. I got to go Tampa Bay. If they make the playoffs, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. I don't think nobody's going to want to play them. Because they run the ball well. They don't turn the ball over. They play they play good defense. That's playoff football right there. I'm going to go Tampa Bay in this game.
I remember way back in our very first show, I said that this division was the strongest, the NFC South. I'm starting to look right. I mean, you have Tampa Bay getting hot. You have New Orleans getting hot. You have Atlanta with the best record in the NFC. And yeah, Carolina's pretty bad. But, I don't think they're necessarily the best division right now.
They don't
but
look
I'm
as
not
bad as they
looking
did.
as wrong as I did 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Tampa Bay in this game. I think this was a pretty easy one. Carolina can't necessarily. They just can't win.
Yeah,
The next one, another team that can't win. Jacksonville at Houston. There's a lot of boring games this week.
There is. I'm glad I worked a 12-hour shift this Sunday. Not going to miss out on a whole lot. It's your turn to pick.
Oh, it is. This is easy. Houston.
Yeah, me too.
New York Jets at St. Louis.
Ooh, this one's kind of hard. See, St. Louis did not lose to one of the best teams in the NFC last week.
That's
and
true.
the Jets got kicked. Their asses kicked by Seattle. I'm going to go St. Louis just because they're at home and I hate the Jets so much.
I don't think this one is as hard as you thought it was. I mean, St. Louis can play defense. They can have some decent plays on offense. St. Louis is going to win this game by 2 scores. I don't understand why you think this one's hard. I predicted for them to win 5 games at the beginning of the season. Looks like I just might be right with that.
Yeah, you might be close.
The next one, New Orleans at Oakland.
Your choice.
I'm going New Orleans. Oakland is not a very good team. They lost by, 55 points last week?
They lost by 35, yeah.
They're not good. New Orleans is hot right now, even though New Orleans' defense is horrible. If you have Carson Palmer on your fantasy football team, this would be a good week to start him.
Mm-hmm.
I think New Orleans wins the game, though.
I think New Orleans is going to win this game, too. Like you said, Oakland's not a good team, and so I'll take Drew Brees in this one. Drew Brees against Oakland's defense. I'll take Drew Brees.
Absolutely.
Let's see, your pick next, San Diego at Denver.
I hate to do it. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because I hate both these teams pretty equal-handedly. I'm going to go Denver. They're at home. A lot of people think that Denver's the best team in the AFC right now.
I know. Including
I'm
me.
not one of those people.
Yeah, of
I
course
want to see
not.
Denver lose bad. However, I think they win this one.
Yeah. You knew I was going to pick Denver because I have to pick Denver. I picked them to win every game for the rest of the season, so I say Denver. And then Indianapolis at New England. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with New England at this one. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be 35-28 game, 35-34, somewhere up in there. I think it's going to be over 60 total points scored. But I think New England's going to pull it out.
You think Indianapolis will score that many points?
New England's defense ain't that good.
It's not that good, but it's not that bad.
No, you don't. You don't think the Patriots?
I think it's a middle of the
35?
road defense.
Yeah, but you don't think the Patriots can score, or the Colts could score 30?
I don't. I'll take New England in this game. I don't think it'll be as close as you think it will be. This is a boring week for football.
It really is. Baltimore at Pittsburgh.
And now you got Roethlisberger out.
I know.
You got their number 1 running back out. Baltimore isn't necessarily a dominant defense anymore. They're still a good defense, but they're not like what they were.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, I mean, you got both these defenses missing their best player. Jeez, what's going on with the NFL this week?
I know. One thing about this game that really hurts the Steelers with that Roethlisberger injury is that they play Baltimore twice in the next 3 weeks. So Roethlisberger could miss both of those games and could pretty much give away the division. But in this game, you got to go Baltimore without Roethlisberger in.
Agreed. And this is the most important one because this is their home game.
Yes.
They probably would be favored in this game if they had Roethlisberger.
I agree with that.
But Brian Leftwich looked really bad against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
He was the worst quarterback on the field, and he was sharing the field with Matt Castle.
Really?
And he looked worse than Matt Castle. Yeah, he's not a good quarterback. I think Charlie Batch should be starting. I know he's not going to, but...
Well, what about the Monday night game? This is actually going to be a good game. Who do you got?
Could be good. I mean, Jay Cutler is... we're not sure if he's going to play. We're not sure if Alex Smith is going to play. Both these quarterbacks could be out for this one. So that makes it kind of difficult to choose. I'm going to go... Is it my turn to pick first?
Let's see. I don't know.
I'm going to
go... No, it's my turn to pick first. It's my...
Okay.
Yeah, because I picked New England. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to take San Francisco just because I'm going to be rooting for them to beat Chicago. Because when Chicago loses this week and the Packers win this week, Packers and Bears will be tied for the division. And Packers already have the tiebreaker over them, so the Packers will be leading the division.
Well, I do think that scenario is not going to happen. But I do, because I think Green Bay is going to lose against Detroit.
Yes.
But San Francisco will beat Chicago. San Francisco runs the ball better than Chicago does. The only iffy thing is how many touchdowns will the Chicago defense get? It's not something that I feel, I can't pick Chicago and say they're going to win because their defense is going to get a touchdown. That's really, really hard to predict. You can't say that's going to happen.
Even though it's happened more times than not this year.
I know. But can you say it every week?
No, absolutely not.
I'm going to go San Francisco. I think they're just Now, which one of these games will be the biggest blowout? And we'll do what we did last week with the Kansas City game where we picked the spread.
Let's see. I think the biggest blowout might be Houston and Jacksonville.
I'm right there with you. That's exactly the game I was looking at, too.
How much do you think Houston's going to win by?
I think they'll win by at least 6.5. You want to go higher than that, or you want to go? You want to take the under? All right, what are you going up to?
7.5.
I think they win by 9.5. You want to take the under on that one, or you want to go higher? It's getting tricky, huh?
Yeah, I think I'll raise you 1 point, 10.5.
Just one?
Just one.
I'm gonna raise you again. I'm gonna raise you 1 more point. I'll say 11.5.
All right, I'll go under then.
You're gonna take under.
I'll take under on 11.
All right, I say that the Texans will win by more than 11.
No, by more than 12.
12.
Yeah.
12 or more. Okay.
All right, sounds good. All right, it's time for Turning Points. You're on the hot seat. Are you ready?
Don't threaten me.
I didn't. I was just asking if you're ready.
It's racist.
All right. Who is the comeback player of the year, Peyton Manning or Adrian Peterson?
That's all I get to choose from? What about Jamal Charles? What about Eric Berry?
Would you pick? They both played for the Chiefs. Their team is 1-8. You can't pick them.
Dang it. They looked really good in their win, though. What about Sean Payton?
Sean, he's not playing this year.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I choose Adrian Peterson because I hate Peyton Manning.
Who is the Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the Year will be... It's a lot more interesting now because I think Andrew Luck is making a much better case than he did at the beginning of the year. I'm still going to go... Shoot, I think... I'm going to change my pick right now to Andrew Luck, but I reserve the right to change it back to RG3 later. Whichever one of these teams...
Doug Martin?
No, it's going to be one of the two quarterbacks. Whichever one of these teams makes the playoffs will get Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, see, I think...
And that's why I'm leaning towards Andrew Luck. I think the Colts right now have the better shot to make the playoffs.
Which reality show would you rather be on? Deadliest Catch or Gold Rush?
What's Gold Rush?
Sorry, I'm dying. You've never seen Gold Rush?
No.
It's where they go to Alaska and pan for gold. But it's a huge pain in the ass, and they always fail. Lose money.
That doesn't sound fun.
I know, it's not. Well, does Deadliest Catch look fun?
No, so you chose two reality shows. I'd rather be on Teen Mom. Next question.
Okay. Would you rather be on Jersey Shore or Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
Oh, both of those shows are so freaking annoying. Luckily, my wife only watches one of them.
Yeah,
my wife I've never watched an episode of Jersey Shore.
Oh, you're lucky.
I'm going to pick that one because at least they're drunk the entire time, so at least if I'm in a horrible situation, I can be drunk the entire time doing it.
Okay, good answer. Okay, what about, would you rather be, if this was real, The Walking Dead, or on one of the Real Housewives shows?
Would I rather be on Walking Dead? I'd rather be on one of the Real Housewives shows.
Oh my gosh, It's so annoying. All it is drama.
I've never seen that show, but I'm assuming that's what it is.
Oh my god, it is horrible. I would kill myself if my wife was like any of the women on that show.
Yeah, but you compare it to running for your life, having every single person in your life probably dead. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, but what would be more fun?
But what people say that's why I like The Walking Dead is because it doesn't make a zombie apocalypse look fun. Like there's all these ideas out there, these books being written and how to survive a zombie apocalypse and all this. It would not be a fun time.
But would you rather be a Broncos fan for a week or get kicked in the balls 5 times?
Kicked in the balls 5 times. Each ball 5 times. 10 times in the balls.
Wow. That's pretty,
I hate the Broncos, dude.
You hate them that much?
I hate them.
Wow. Okay, well, I get to kick you in the balls 5 times then. If you've got a full paid package to see a Chiefs game this year, would you rather wait for that same package for 2 years from now?
Of course.
Will be better.
Yes.
But you could wait? You wouldn't want to go right now and see Arrowhead Stadium?
Well, Arrowhead Stadium will still be around in 2 years. I'd rather
but-
see a winning team, yeah. I'm
But
so
the world
giving up
ends in
on
a
Kansas City this year. I was actually, if it wasn't for the fact that my water main broke, we were going to use our tax return to go to Kansas City and watch a game, but I got to use it to repair my water main.
Oh, I'm going to ask you the same question you asked me last week. If you could sing any song on the show, what would it be? Or if you had
Inagata Davida, baby.
Oh my gosh.
A 10-minute drum solo. I don't even have to say the words right because nobody knows them. And and 10 minutes of it I don't have to sing. I'm going to go that.
Okay. If you could visit any football stadium not named Arrowhead.
Lambeau Field, just because of the history. And because that's the one that I will probably never get a chance to see. Because
Lambeau
it's
Field?
so freaking hard to get a game. To get tickets to the game. You can't do it. You gotta wait for someone to die. What about you? Obviously Lambeau Field, huh?
Well,
Besides
other than
Lambeau Field, yeah.
You know?
CenturyLink?
I kind of like to see Dallas Stadium. Just it's so.
Oh, that's a good idea, too. Yeah.
Or see what else is good.
Where else is historic? I'd go to a historic one, like Heinz Field.
Or like Chicago Stadium. I can't think of what it's called right
Soldier
now.
Field.
Oh, Soldier Field. Those are stadiums that they're never going to be able to tear down.
So moving on to Geek Speak, we have 2 Geek Speak headlines for you this week. One of them is we are going to tell you the champion of the food playoff bracket. We've narrowed it down to pizza versus burgers. So we had, on Facebook, we only had a couple votes. We had 2 votes for pizza and then 1 for burger. So I think it's just going to come down to you and me, Chris.
All right.
You and I are going to choose.
Well, I've been thinking about this all week. I actually had some pizza this week.
I did too.
I had pizza was pretty good. I just had Pizza Hut, but I had a taco pizza from Pizza Hut, and it was all right. It was decent.
Was it pan pizza?
Well, yeah, it was just normal Pizza Hut, whatever that's called. I'm not sure, but thinking more and more about it, thinking about the best burgers I've ever had, I think I have to throw my vote in for burgers. I mean, like, you just think about, like, I had a burger one time. It was from a fast food restaurant of all places, but it was so good. It had, the burger, then it had pulled pork with barbecue sauce and onion rings on it. I mean, pulled pork and a burger mixed up, that is just so good. And then you get, like, you have sourdough burgers, you have Juicy Lucy's, you can do so many different things with the burger. And
I had an interesting kind of hybrid burger this week too, actually. The wife and I went out Monday for lunch because we had the day off work for Veterans Day. Thank you, veterans. And I got a Philly-style burger, and it was pretty good. I mean, it could have been cooked better, but it wasn't. It was just the burger itself was a little overdone, but I'd go there again. It was an interesting take on a burger, and it was very good. Mm-hmm. I'm with you, man. I think burger's going to have to be our champion, even though we got more votes for pizza on Facebook by 1. Only 3 total votes, so it's not like it's that big a deal. I like pizza a lot too. Obviously, it made it all the way to the championship.
I think we have to crown burgers our champion.
Burgers, it is.
I thought we were going to argue about that a little bit more.
You thought we would?
Yeah, I thought so.
Sorry to disappoint you. Just not in the arguing mood tonight, I suppose. All right, our final Geek Speak headline. We're going to be talking about movies that we would like to see redone. I asked Facebook for their ideas, and we got some really interesting ideas. A lot of them I like.
Yeah, so do I.
Christina says The Wizard of Oz. That'd be kind of a cool one to redo. I'm actually very, very surprised it hasn't been redone yet.
But I think, like, I'd be scared if they redid The Wizard of Oz. It would, Tim Burton would do it, and it'd be totally stupid like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory thing was.
For some reason, that's exactly what I was thinking.
And as long as Tim Burton's nowhere near the remake of Wizard of Oz, I would say
Tim Burton or Johnny Depp.
Or Johnny Depp, yeah.
And I like Johnny Depp. I think he's a great actor, but yeah, he's been in a lot of really bad remakes.
Mm-hmm. He has.
Another idea. Jen says, Stand By Me. I like that idea. That's one I think that they could redo without, and they can make it relevant to a whole new audience.
Yeah, kind of have it grow up with the way kids are, or like teenagers are today.
Yeah, they can change. No, I think they still have to keep it in that time period. Because, even when it came out, that movie came out in like the late 80s. It takes place in the 50s.
Oh, true, yeah.
I think you need to have it take place in the 50s still.
Yeah.
But I think you could just redo it with current actors in a way that is still very interesting to old Stand By Me fans and people that have never heard of it.
See, I think that's a movie that you shouldn't touch. Because I don't think they could do that much different with it. I mean, it's not like they could do a lot with the visuals or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, It's all pretty, I don't think you can get as good of a group of kid actors as they had in that movie, to act as well together as they did. I mean, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't think I would like to see that one redone.
Mom's idea is The Sound of Music. I don't even know what the hell Sound of Music is.
Let's see, how's that song go? Mom used to sing the songs all the time.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can't remember how it goes, though. I don't know. If they remade it...
Would you watch it?
I might.
Would you? No, you wouldn't.
No, I probably
don't have time for that.
Yeah.
All right, my friend Candace, she says, Footloose. No way, already done. Fame. Nope, remade. The Karate Kid? No. Arthur? Damn. Friday the 13th? Come on! All out of ideas. She has a good point. There's been a lot of remakes lately.
There has. People looking for easy ways to make money.
Easy ways to make money. Most of them are really bad, but I don't really mind them. I don't mind the idea of taking a movie and redoing it.
Oh, I don't.
The main reason is when you remake a movie, your goal isn't to win awards and to make this amazing movie. Your goal is to make money fast and to gear a movie towards people's nostalgia. What they grew up watching and they want to see again in a different way. I'm really excited for the remake of Red Dawn.
Oh,
I love Red Dawn.
Awesome.
And I'm sure I'm not going to like the new one as much as I like the old one. But I still really interested to see a different take on a movie I really like. It's kind of like when a music artist you like covers a song that you enjoy. You still want to hear the cover for it, even though you're going to like the original better probably.
Yeah.
It's just a different take, and I'm interested to see these different takes on these movies that I enjoy. So in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with redoing a movie. Even if it's a good movie, you can still redo it.
Yeah, I think so. I'm super excited for Red Dawn. What do you think of the, or did you ever see the Total Recall remake?
I haven't yet.
I haven't seen that yet either. I thought it looked good, but didn't have Colin Farrell in it.
That's one of those I'm going to wait for it to come to Netflix to watch.
Yeah,
so I am going to watch it, but I'm sure I'll be watching it alone. That's not something my family would be interested in watching with me, probably.
See, my kids would probably watch it with me, or at least Eli.
Our buddy Matt says Labyrinth. Remember with David Bowie? A remake of that? That'd be kind of interesting. I think a lot of... And actually, both of his are kid movies, kind of around the same time. Labyrinth and Neverending Story. And what's funny is that when I asked my wife, this question, she could give a damn about our show. But I asked the wife this question just so I kind of have a girl's take on the show. And she said Neverending Story, too. I thought that... And that is actually a movie that is scheduled to be remade. And
Neverending Story 2?
Neverending Story.
Oh, just the first one.
Yeah, and the release date is 2014. It's going to be produced by the same person that produced The Curious Case of Benjamin Button and the Bourne series. So
that's strange.
A guy that's done some pretty good work. We see Leonardo DiCaprio is also on board as an executive producer for this Neverending Story remake.
I wonder if he's going to be in it.
I don't know. What would he play in the Neverending Story? I mean, it's pretty much all. It's pretty much like, yeah, right. The Neverending Story is like kid actors and then puppets. I don't know. There isn't really an adult actor.
Yeah, it probably won't be the same though without the puppets. They're going to do CGI and stuff like that instead.
I'm not. That's not the most horrible thing ever.
No, but that's one of the best things about the movie is the puppets.
You know what though? This is a movie that when they redo it and it looks like it's going to be redone, I'd take my son to watch this. This would be something I think I'd go to the theaters to see. I'm excited about a Neverending Story remake. That'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
What about you? What would be your movie that you would like to see redone?
One is a movie that I don't think a lot of people know about. It's one that we've watched since we were kids, but it's called They Live. It's like a monster alien type movie. The original had like Rowdy Roddy Piper in it. We actually talked about it once on the show when we talked about wrestler actors.
Right.
But I think they could remake that really cool now with a lot of good action, a lot of good CGI.
Would they have to have a wrestler?
I just can't think of an actor to play Rowdy Roddy Piper. That's a hard name to say.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of an actor to play his part really well. But I'm
The
sure
Rock.
they could find one.
I think it'd be cool if they kept it a wrestler.
That would be cool. Like,
Maybe Stone Cold.
Like The Rock or John Cena.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
But I actually have a list of 50 upcoming movie remakes, and there's some of them that are pretty interesting. You have RoboCop coming out in August 2013. The Evil Dead. Do you know what that is?
The Evil Dead. Yeah, that's that comedy horror movie from back in the day, right?
Right. I'm interested to see what they do with that. Evil Dead remake. There's a couple.
You got to keep it funny though.
There's a couple Stephen King movies that are up to being redone.
Really?
Carrie and Pet Sematary.
Wow. I've never seen the original of either one of those.
Also, Mad Max. That's the movie that Mel Gibson really got his start on. I'm pretty sure it was completely shot and produced in Australia. But that would be something I think could be redone in a really cool way.
Didn't you mention something about Stephen King's It being redone?
Yeah, Stephen King's It's being redone too. For some reason, it's not on this list, which makes me kind of question the integrity of this list a little bit. But Drop Dead Fred, scheduled to be redone in 2014. I didn't think very many people knew what Drop Dead Fred was.
Dead Fred, it's a funny movie.
And this one had Russell Brand in it. I think that he'd be a really good Drop Dead Fred.
Oh, definitely. Because he's annoying in real life. He could be an amazing Fred.
And it's kind of similar to the movie that I would have redone if I got to choose.
What's that?
Which would be, every time this movie is on TV, I watch it. If I just need to have a movie on while I'm doing work, this is the movie I choose to be on half the time. Beetlejuice.
Oh, that would be a good one.
I would love to see Beetlejuice redone and remade, and it wouldn't change the way I think about the classic one. I'm sure the classic one would still be my favorite out of the two, but it's just like an artist covering your favorite song. You want to hear or see somebody else's take, and I think that would be cool.
Who do you think should play Beetlejuice?
I thought about that, and even though we talked a lot of smack about him earlier, I think Johnny Depp.
Pepper?
No. Johnny Depp would be an interesting Beetlejuice. Or maybe somebody that's not even really silly or weird. Because Michael Keaton wasn't really known for his silly weirdness before he was Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Honestly, if Johnny Depp did it, it probably would make me not want to watch it.
Really?
Really.
What about, I know you're a huge Leonardo DiCaprio fan.
I am. It would be interesting to see him do it.
I can't picture him doing it, though.
Yeah, that's the thing that's wrong with Johnny Depp is you can totally picture him doing it.
Yeah, I know who would do it. Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, that would be awesome.
He'd be an awesome Beetlejuice.
He would. Because
he's kind of Michael Keaton-esque, but, I don't know, with a more saucy flavor.
Oh, jeez.
Some other remakes on this list that I'm seeing. Heavy Metal. Attached to that is Jack Black. I mean, that has an unknown release date, so who even knows if this stuff is real. But also Creature from the Black Lagoon. And attached to this movie, rumored, is Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum?
I don't know if he would be the creature or if he'd be a main protagonist of the movie. I don't even really know the story of Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Oh. Well, Channing Tatum did get voted sexiest man alive today by People. I don't know if you saw that headline or not.
What the hell's wrong with you?
So I'm just saying, I saw it on Hoda and Kathy Lee and Hoda this morning. Channing Tatum, he wouldn't be the monster. He would have to be like the scientist or somebody.
Someone pretty.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who plays the girl in that movie. If they remake it, I mean, they could just use the monster and totally rewrite the story type thing, you know. But
Now, if they did remake Creature from the Black Lagoon, would you make the creature look like it, you know, the how it looks in your head now when you think of that creature? It has a very distinct look. This is what the Creature from the Black Lagoon looks like. Or do you modernize it? Do you change it up so that it's something a little more scary and a little bit, you know, more something you wouldn't expect necessarily?
oh, geez, you got to modernize it a little bit, but you can't change it too much. I mean, you can't, like, people don't change the look of Dracula or the look of Frankenstein a whole lot in the newer movies. You know,
I agree. There's ways to make something keeps the integrity of something, like Batman or Iron Man, but still modernize it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so Iron Man was written way back in the 60s. That's when that was designed. But now you see a movie 50 years later, and it has a modern edge to it, but it's still true to what the 60s Iron Man was created to look like.
Yes.
So this will conclude episode number 11. Our next episode will be right around Thanksgiving, so you're welcome ahead of time.
Oh, man. Nothing better than listening to Bro Sports Podcast while sitting down to your Thanksgiving dinner.
Exactly. Wear your stretchy pants to the next Bro Sports Podcast. Do you have any advice for us, Cartman?
I do. Let's see, this week my advice is don't be surprised if you don't wear socks with shoes and your wife doesn't want to cuddle with you later that night. I'm just saying.
That sounds like some advice from experience there.
No, never happened to me before. Ever.
Well, that's probably some good advice.